Also, there are clear signs of diplomatic movement, with Pakistan acting as an important channel between Washington and Tehran. But significant questions remain. Iran has its conditions. The details of the negotiations are still being worked out, and there is no confirmed timeline yet for a formal ceasefire announcement. And then there's the Strait of Hormuz. The waterway is critical to global energy supplies, and any agreement that allows commercial shipping to return to normal could have an immediate impact on oil markets and global trade. But what does this latest development look like from Tehran? And does Iran believe a ceasefire and the reopening of Hormuz are now realistically within the Iranian perspective? Let's bring in Dr. Ahmed Salehi. Dr. Salehi, thank you so much for joining me here on World Tonight. And from Tehran's perspective, how close are Iran and the United States to reaching a ceasefire?
Actually, for a country which is betrayed at the negotiating table 2 times, and a lot of mistrust during 47 years from the American side, it is very hard to say that how close this country is with a ceasefire with this entity, especially taking into account that the current administration, Donald Trump, has not been successful to achieve any agreement, not with Iran, with any country. Look at what happened to Canada yesterday. There was only one agreement between Trump and a foreign state in Donald Trump won, and that was the tariff agreement between Mexico, Canada, and Trump, which was, this one also was broken at the beginning of Trump too. And from that moment on, this person has not been successful to achieve any agreement, not with its enemies, but with its allies. So in the case of Iran, it will be, of course, too complicated, more than that. So from Tehran's perspective, everything is a tactical and deceiving maneuver to pass the election in November and coming back to military operation. Of course, Tehran believes that the current situation of the United States is worse than the time they started the war in Mars. But to be honest, frankly, this is the view of Tehran. Yes, Tehran is very serious about diplomacy with the help of Pakistan and other mediators, but we cannot change the reality. This country is betrayed at the negotiating table 2 times. So this is very important.
All right, and look, Iran has reportedly made clear that Washington must respect the existing memorandum of understanding. And what does Tehran specifically want the U.S. to commit to before negotiations can move forward?
The memorandum plus. I mean, the memorandum between Iran and Washington, which was mediated by Pakistan, which is called the Islamabad Memorandum, is a concrete piece of document between these 2 countries, and Tehran is fully committed to all articles and all sentences and all wordings in this 2 pages document 14 article. The conditions of Tehran is clearly mentioned in Article 13 of the memorandum, at least 4 of them. But Tehran has added 2 or 3 other conditions to that Article number 13 of the memorandum. Let me count some of these conditions. The first one, which is articulated in Article 1 of the memorandum, is unity of battlefield and a stop of war in all battlefields, including Lebanon. So this is a very critical condition from Tehran's side, which is periodically being violated by the ally of the United States, this is also mentioned in the memorandum. Number 2 is releasing the freezed assets of Iran. This is also mentioned in the memorandum of understanding. The third condition is issuing the waiver for the export of oil of Iran. The fourth one is removing the blockade. These are all included in the memorandum of understanding. There are also some added conditions. I can mention 1 or 2 of them. For example, Washington must stop arming and sending weaponries to the armed opposition groups against the Islamic Republic of Iran, which are located in neighboring countries, including Iraq. This is now a very firm condition by Tehran, because Tehran believes this is an existential threat and looks to all of this based on this assumption. So anybody, any nation, any politician, any ruler who believes that its nation is facing an existential threat, I personally believe that should act accordingly and with a proportionate response with regard to this existential threat. So these are the conditions of Tehran. Personally, I believe that Tehran actually on the ground does not want anything more than the ammo. But the point is that real humans should respect their signatures. I mean, this guy in Washington, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, apparently he does not respect his own signature. So unless there is not any respect, there is not any negotiation, there is not any settlement, there is not any agreement. These are the conditions of Tehran.
All right, well, thank you for lining them out here on naming 4+2. And moving on, let's talk about Pakistan. Pakistan appears to be acting as a channel between the two sides. And how does Iran view Pakistan's mediation efforts, and why is Islamabad being trusted with this role?
Actually, a tremendous effort by Pakistan, which has been done during the last 5 months, has been splendid. I mean, there are different views in Tehran among the analysts, among the commentators, and among the politicians and the authorities. I can say that there is now a very good and optimistic view towards the mediation by Pakistan among the authorities, but among the commentators, analysts, etc., like any other society, there are different views. The point is that at the moment, I believe that there are some personal relationships being made between the authorities of two countries, and there's a memory, there's a telling the meeting between Mr. Ghalibaf and Mr. Asim Munir, that Mr. Ghalibaf told him that, okay, look, General, both of us are military personnel. The average human life in Iran, the expectancy for human life in Iran for men is about, 75 years. And now I'm 70, something like that. So for living more than 5 years, it doesn't worth for me to make more concessions for my nation. So of course, there's a very good relation between the authorities of two countries, but at the same time, it is really the position of Tehran that enough is enough, because Tehran is tired of the cycle of war, negotiation, peace, agreements, and war again. So if these mediations lead to refueling the American military and the American economy, Tehran will take serious steps, serious measures to prevent that from happening. But if this mediation, which of course Pakistan is doing, the mediation with truth, with goodwill, I believe if that is the case over the Atlantic Ocean in Washington, if they also look to the negotiations with trust and goodwill, it will lead to somewhere. If not, which is at the moment the perception in Tehran is that it is not, then it will lead to nowhere. And Tehran is not going to close the Pandora box, the Strait of Hormuz, which has been opened by the hands of the President of the United States.
All right, and that's the topic which is the next on my papers here, the Strait of Hormuz. The reopening of the Strait of Hormuz appears to be closely linked to these discussions. And would Iran be prepared to restore normal commercial shipping if an agreement is reached?
First of all, apparently, Donald Trump is not or does not agree with you and me. You said that apparently the Strait of Hormuz is closed. But Americans believe that it is fully open under their control. Even recently, they have to this illusion. They've come to this illusion that the Strait of Hormuz is the territory of the United States. So, look how out of beam are these decision makers in Washington. Yes, if from their perspective, if from their point of view, the Strait of Hormuz is open, so there's not any need or any need for negotiations. I mean, we know that ethical values and human rights, etc., is nothing and possess no value to the American decision makers. This is only the benefits and the interests. So if the Strait of Hormuz is open, there's not any necessity or need for the Americans to negotiate with Iran. So this is the complex paradox that we are facing with these. I mean, they give false information with a very high self-esteem, with a very high self-confidence, and they're not shy to tell lies. This is point number one. The second point is that a closed strait is not good for Iran, has not been good for Iran. And it is not the position of Tehran to close the strait from the day one. The position of Tehran is that the Strait of Hormuz will not go back to the situation of before the war. What does it mean? It means that from a security point of view, Tehran will control all the passages through this strait because based on UNCLOS, United Nations Convention Law of the Seas, innocent passage is very important for the regulation in the straits. And it is now proven, it does have concrete evidence for the moment that at least a portion of the passages through this strait during the past time has been using for arming the military bases, which was used to attack and kill Iranians. So based on the innocent passage concept included in UNCLOS, United Nations Convention Law of the Seas, Tehran is going to let this situation from a security point of view to be the same as before the war.
All right.
And from a commercial point of view, the freedom of passage is okay with Tehran, but as per mentioned in article number 5 of the agreement, it will be free only for the first 60 days. These are very simple English sentences that everybody can read. And the money which will be derived from the passage through the strait will be used for compensation of the attacks, the destructions, the explosions, and a lot of harms which have been done to the country by the building forces which attacked Iraq.
Right, Dr. Salehi, thank you so much for the detailed analysis and updates here on this topic. We are with your time.